So before we get started, I want to kind of give you a little bit of direction on how to ask questions. The GoToWebinar control panel on the right-hand side will give you the questions tab down toward the middle of the control panel. And you can also use the chat function down in the bottom too. You can either ask the entire audience or just us. So we'll make sure all the questions get answered either today or by follow-up. And but I think we'll probably get to them today. So the next thing, we're going to send a follow-up email with a link to the recording of the webinar, a PowerPoint presentation as a PDF, and then we have a few other flyers that will include too some carrier underwriting information, some coverage forms, and some other information about our ESP product. So in 2017, Stuckey & Company is celebrating our 26th year as a MGA, offering our agents access to solid A-rated carriers like the Hartford, Safeco, Travelers, and Chubb, just to name a few. We have 8 specialty insurance programs. We offer, one of the neat things that we started about 2.5, 3 years ago is what we call a 151 promise. So if we get an account or a service request in by 1 o'clock, we get it out by 5. If we get it in by 5 o'clock, we get it out by 1 the next day. So it's really helped us, helped our agents, and you know, a lot of the times getting a quote out is kind of a race. You know, sometimes it's, you know, whoever can get it to the customer the fastest. So I think we've really done some good things there. Stuckey & Company as an MGA, we do everything from create the program to, you know, giving our agents and our customers training on the product. And that includes everything from underwriting it, rating, quoting, binding, issuing it in our systems, endorsing, renewing, obviously, billing, reporting. We can integrate with your systems. So with the click of a button, you can share the data with ours. It gets posted to our system. We rate it up, send a data feedback in real time. It's a pretty slick process. Sometimes we do the claims, but always the marketing and the training piece. These are our products. Safety Tech is an insurance program for the technology industry. Aspire A&E is for architects and engineers. Harbor Guard is for marinas and boat dealerships. Very similar program to the Tuniacs program that we're talking about today. MPL is just miscellaneous professional liability. We have 350 different classes that we can write professional liability on. We have a green energy program, personal lines, so home, auto, boat, and high value home. And we have a pretty nice single entry multi-carrier quoting system that we use there. Commercial lines, we do BOP, comp, auto, bonds, EPLI, D&O, inland marine, you know, you name it, for mostly small to mid-sized businesses. But we also have a few national accounts also. And if it falls outside of one of those programs, because of underwriting guidelines, we have a surplus lines program through a company called Maxim that's owned by the Hartford. It mimics some of the small commercial to mid-market guidelines and classes, but you know, if it's new in business or has had some claims or whatever, you know, we can place it through the surplus lines division. So to get started today, first, we'll go through the Tuniacs business owners policy, and what we have for the business owner, and then we're going to turn it over to Scott and go through the ESP. Kind of first, maybe I should introduce Dylan Stuckey. He's the auto services specialist at Stuckey and Company, and Scott Blanc. He is the vice president and general manager at Good Sam ESP. For making themselves available during the webinar for just to answer questions and the availability and advantages of the product. So thanks a lot, guys.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Great to be on. Thanks.
So kind of our agenda, we want to give information about the product, show you the value, learn where it's available, kind of show you, why we're so interested in it and enthusiastic about it, and then also how to generate some income for your shop, which I think is a huge differentiator. I have never seen a product like ESP being offered through a network of agents or through the shop. So it's a really interesting product. Just to run through a few things really quickly, and I'm kind of turn it over to Scott on, as far as, the ESP product and a big differentiator. All the carriers we work with are A-rated. In fact, they're A+15, rated by AM Best. The main carrier that we have for this product is Hartford. We're Hartford VIPs. We have been for almost 25 years now. And Hartford has given us, we're in 6 states, and I think there's 6 other agents that are pilot agents for this program in 6 states. And then we are the only agent that has nationwide access to it, except for 6 states. So we're really excited about that partnership and the coverages that they've brought to us. And I will say it is still a pilot program. They do not tend to get in and out. I think about 20 years ago, they were really super good at tire dealers. And they did get out of that, but their intent is not to get in and out, is to stay and, like the rest of their products, really be a solid carrier. We specialize in the program. I think we have a competitive advantage because of the knowledge that we have in the auto services space. Our minimum premiums are extremely low. It says here $500 is a package. We can do GL only for as low as $250 though. We view and recognize, the customer's training. So whether it's a auto mechanic that has the ASE certification, or if it's the Blue Seal certification that the shop has, we recognize that, and we give credits for those certifications. And commissions, we pay our top producers top commissions. On the business owner's policy and the comp, both we're paying 15% new and renewal commission to those guys, which is more than you can pay. A lot of the times more you can get on a direct contract with any carrier. Sometimes on the comp you get a total of 10. We value some other things, the ease of placing the business. We can take an Accord app, which is the industry standard application, obviously, and we do not have any additional supplemental applications or anything like that. Just kind of a side note, we're rolling out another, our quoting platform, and the Tuniacs business owner's policy will be available on that platform. And it's literally a 3-minute application. It's, you know, tap, 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 quote type of thing. We already talked about the 151 promise, but kind of associated with that, we have transparent underwriting guidelines. And I just mean that if we decline an account or if we need additional information on an account, you know, we let you know what it is and why we're asking it. These are the class codes that we use. These are the Hartford class codes, but we'll also translate that in a follow-up email to the SIC codes. Just kind of a quick note. It equates to over $3.1 billion worth of premium opportunity nationwide. And I think it's, you know, like 282,000 businesses. So it's a huge opportunity. We write auto body, but it's not through the Hartford. We'll write towing services, but if they have a tow truck and they have a contract with somebody like AAA or something like that, we find that is ineligible. We can write heavy, or we cannot write heavy or extra heavy, which means we have to stay under 20,000 pounds. But if it goes above that, a lot of the times we can place it in the surplus lines market. Another thing here that you will not see is car dealers. So we do not write them. However, if it's a service shop and they have their dealer's license, as long as they sell no more than 5 cars a year and no more than 2 dealer plates, we can still, you know, entertain the risk. Another thing on this is the tire dealers. We can write tire dealers, but we will not write retreading, used tire sales, or split rims. So, and then another thing, I guess on here is a question that we get asked a lot is if we can write accounts that have like a shuttle service. And we can write an account with a shuttle service as long as it's limited to the local area. So this is kind of, this is a graphical representation of all of those classes. And one thing to say here is we do it kind of on a, we target these things kind of on a micro level. So if you're interested in the class, if you write a lot of business in this space, or if you like the space and you might not write a lot of business, but you want to get into it, we dissect all the SIC codes, down to 6 and 8 digit SIC codes, and we can put a direct mail campaign together for you. We just have a kind of a commitment card that we get signed by you and signed by us. We ask you to follow up on them, on the leads that we give you, but we can get micro-targeted, super local leads for you in any of these classes. And we'll do a direct mail campaign, which includes 2 emails, 2 postcards, and 2 letters. It's a pretty neat offering, I think. These are the core coverages, obviously, that almost any business needs. I put it up here really to show you the maximum values and payrolls and revenue limits and things. But we can write all coverages, both monoline or as a package. So we can write general liability and a property BOP policy, or we can write general liability or property coverage monoline. We can also add workers' comp. We can write workers' comp monoline. And commercial auto, we can write commercial auto. We have a max of 9 cars, 5 trucks, and we can't do any trucks over 20,000 pounds, similar to the BOP underwriting guidelines. Another just kind of a side note here, workers' comp is, I think Hartford is number 2 in the country in workers' comp, and they are doing some really neat things. In fact, in the follow-up webinar, I'll show you a video that the chief claims officer at the Hartford put together about data and data mining, big data type stuff. It's extremely impressive. And you get that claim service, the claim service that Amazon, they just wrote Amazon, and you get the same claim service that they provide Amazon as a small business owner. And it's awesome. They also have an extended options package on the comp that costs between 1.5% to 3%. And it increases their employer's liability limit to 500, 500, 500. And adds foreign voluntaries comp, unintentional failure to disclose hazards, longshore and harbor workers' compensation coverage, and those types of things. The specialty coverage that we give under the program is garage operations liability, which is if one of our insured's employees is test driving a vehicle, he hits a pedestrian, garage operations liability pays for the pedestrian's bodily injury expenses. It's subject to the general liability limits, so we give the same limit on the garage operations liability as we do the general liability limit. And that's very consistent with, with other carriers and how they handle it. Faulty work and defective products is a situation where after the customer installs a defective engine and the customer returns to the shop, demanding that our customer, the insured, repair the engine, faulty work and defective products covers the customer's cost of repairing the engine. And that's a differentiator of coverage. We pay 100% of the repair costs after the deductible if performed by the insured. Most of the carriers pay a percentage of repair costs, like 75 or 85% when performed by their policyholder. So I think that's a great differentiator, and that is also has the same liability limits as the general liability. Garage Keeper's Auto is kind of broken down between direct primary and legal liability. And we have some limit options of 50 to 2 million, and deductible options from $500, $1,000 to $2,500. An additional, I think, a huge value add that the Hartford has, as well as some other carriers, but Hartford's is pretty solid, is their auto services stretch coverage. And it includes 50,000 computer and media, 50,000 valuable papers. They list outdoor signs, but there's no limit. So if they have a huge sign, which a lot of them do, they pay full value of that outdoor sign in the case of a loss. 25,000 business income extension for off-premises utilities, personal property of others, and $10,000 transit property and care of carriers for hire. And then we also include $1,000 for tools and $10,000 for equipment. A quick sideline here is we also have first and third party cyber liability that can be added as part of the bot policy as well. All right, so at this point, I'd like to turn it over to Scott Blanc for Good Sam, and he's the Vice President and General Manager at Good Sam ESP, and let him guide us through the extended service plan.
Great, thank you, Dwight. I really appreciate this opportunity. One thing that's really unique about this program that I think you'll see in the next few minutes is that it's a great opportunity to create a revenue stream, not only for your agents, but for your customers. So it's a great way to build that strong relationship with your customer base. So if you could flip to the next slide, Dwight. Just want to give you a little bit of background on the Good Sam Club and how we got into the extended services business. But the Good Sam Club has been around for 50 years this year. It was created as a way to serve the RV and traveling public with information, services, and products related to travel and RV. So we've been offering all kinds of travel-related benefits to our customers for quite some time. 25 years ago, we got a request from our customer base to develop a product to give them access to an extended warranty type product, specifically for RVs, both towable and motorized. So that's how the Good Sam Extended Service Plan was launched. So this is a program that we created in-house. We built it as a member benefit. So this was giving our membership access to a high quality extended warranty type plan at discounted rates as a club member. So over the years, we've expanded the coverage. We started out covering primarily motorized and towable RVs, and over the years, we've added passenger autos, pickup trucks, and SUVs. So it's now the only MBI product of its type that's available in all 50 states, can be quoted online, and is serviced and backed by the Good Sam Club. So let's go ahead and flip to the next page. The product is different than an extended warranty plan in that it's actually mechanical breakdown insurance. So it's 100% insured. So it's a very secure product to offer to your customers. It's insured by QBE, which is an A+ rated carrier. We've been working with them for the past 18 years. So the coverage is available for both new and used cars, trucks, SUVs, and RVs. Any vehicle that's 15 model years or newer and has less than 100,000 miles. There's a number of different terms available depending on the age of the vehicle, number of choices in coverage and options. So there's and deductibles. So there's an opportunity to tailor the product to the customer's needs. As you can see, there's a number of other benefits on the page here that the policy can be transferred without fees. Customer can keep the policy in force as long as they like until they hit those maximum ages and mileage. They have the freedom to choose their own repair center, and we can also set up your repair shops as authorized repair centers so they can get that return repair business as well as referrals from our membership base. So this is a great way to drive business. Let's go ahead and flip to the next slide. So it's a quick and easy process. We have a web-based rating engine that can be accessed from anywhere in the world. So what we envision is having your customers actually set up to go online, enter their customers' information after they've wrapped up their repairs or their sale, and get an immediate quote. It takes about 2 minutes to get the quote generated, and they can close the sale right there at the point of sale, or we can do a follow-up with our call center and send out packages and follow up phone calls and close the deal through our call center. So that's the way that you and your customers will get paid. Anytime that a quote gets done, we can pay for the lead for an unlicensed salesperson. And any of those leads that turn into sales, we can then pay a commission to the agency or agent involved. And we can also work out compensation for referrals. Let's go ahead and flip to the next slide. So Dwight, you could jump in here and talk about this with me, but essentially for sales that are quoted and closed at the point of sale, there's a 21% commission. Just to give you an idea, the average policy premium for autos, small trucks and SUVs is about $950 a year. For an unlicensed shop, what we're recommending is that we pay a $15 per quote fee for the lead, and then the rest of that commission would go to the agency. If the customer quotes but doesn't close the policy at the point of sale, and we do the follow-up and close the policy in our call center, then there's an 11% commission available for those sales. Qualified leads, if we're just taking leads from one of your customers and doing the quote and sale online ourselves, then there's an 8% commission available. Dwight, did you want to expand on that at all?
Yeah, just a couple things. You know, I think the really cool thing about this product, well, outside of, I've never seen it in a shop. I've never seen a licensed agent have access to it. And one of the reasons I think the licensed agents haven't had access to it is because it's really not, normally it's not really an insurance product. And the Good Sam ESP is an insurance program. It's not a warranty. So you have to be a licensed agent to get commission on it. So, you know, if you're not licensed, then, you know, it would be a flat charge per quote. So it's not based on the premium. So commission is a percentage of the premium, and this is the flat charge for the unlicensed shop is a flat charge per quote. And, you know, I went to I live in Lake St. Louis. It's a small town right outside of St. Louis. And we have about, I think there are 16,000 people that live in Lake St. Louis. We have a little place, you know, we have multiple auto shops, but one place that I take mine is called Dobbs. And as we're talking through this with them, they have 80 customers come through their doors every single day. They're open 6 days a week, and I just kind of, you know, threw some math to it. That's $1,200 a day if they are quoting it, and if they close and quote it, or the call center closes it. And, you know, that's a big deal, no matter how big or how small. And, you know, it obviously scales larger, scales, you know, to the smaller shops. If you have, you know, 10 people coming in a day, I think that it's $150 makes a difference to these guys. So that's one thing I'd like to say. Also, you mentioned the qualified lead, and the qualified lead is, I think, another neat opportunity. Good Sam has a call center, and if all the shop does is share the data for their customers, and it's kind of a warm lead, we pay $10 per quote for them. And we'd also like to get some of your feedback, how you see it working, how the commissions would be split, and those types of things. Because this is brand new. You know, we're just literally rolling it out today. So if you have any questions on or suggestions how you'd like to see commission split, we'd love to hear it. But it's a solid platform. The quoting mechanism is online, all the reporting's online, and we're really excited to have an opportunity like this with Good Sam.
That's great. Thanks, Dwight.
So just to finish up a couple more slides, these are what we think are the top 10 reasons to choose Tuniacs. We have A-rated carriers, both the ESP and the business owner's policies are both backed by A+15 rated carriers, Hartford and QBE. In-house, we have excellent knowledge of the industry, speed to market, accessibility when negotiating the premium and the terms. We're paying top commissions, more than you see normally. 15% on the property casualty and 21% on the ESP. We have industry-specific credits, and we really haven't gone through many of those, but everything from hiring practices, building alarms, security cameras, security and restricted access type signs, fire cabinets, or the things that they do with their employees to keep them safe. We have an industry-leading BOP that's specialized to this industry. We have the specialty coverages, garage operations, garage keepers. Both of those are at policy limits, faulty work and defective products, covering 100% of the repair costs. And that auto services stretch that we went over, and just being easy is awesome. It's extremely easy to use. I see there's a pi sign at the right of the exclamation point. It's not quite as difficult as going through 3.14159, whatever you're repeating. So it's a lot easier than that. And it allows you to help your customer drive traffic and income to their shop. So we're really excited about it. Going forward, we'd like you to commit to quoting new auto services businesses. And to do that, we're offering a incentive. We're going to give a $25 gift card for submissions on qualifying accounts that generate under $20,000 in premium, and a $50 gift card for submissions over $20,000. First 20 submissions in each category that fit the Tuniacs guidelines gets the gift card. So send those submissions in to get paid, even if we don't write it. And then I'd like to challenge you to get your shop in there, get it subcoded, discuss it with them, see how they would like to get paid. And I'd love to hear how you would like to split the commission with them. And then we're having an additional ESP product training on December 14th. This is the link to it, but I'll also send the link in a follow-up email this afternoon. So I urge you to sign up for the ESP product training that'll include, coverage, quotes, reporting, and those types of things for the product. And that's the end of the presentation. These are our contacts. I'm handling the commercial lines. Dylan is my son. He is handling the ESP, and Stacy in our office can also, handle the personal lines if you have any questions there. So we have a few questions. We kind of went a few minutes over, so we'll make it quick. But the first one is which states are we in? So we are nationwide. And we can be nationwide without exception with a carrier. We are nationwide with the Hartford under this product pilot program in every state except New York, California, Texas, Louisiana, Indiana, and Florida. We have the product filed in those states. Hartford has filed in those states, and they're waiting for approval in them. So the intent is to get it up and running in all states, but we're in all except those 6. What kind of applications do we need is the next question. Just Accord apps will do. We actually will take information over the phone if you'd like us to do it like that. But there's no supplemental applications or anything like that that is required. Can we write multiple shops? We can't, I'm assuming as a single risk. We do offer multiple shops. I think we can go up to like 26 locations. Payrolls of 1.25 million, property values of 5 million, and revenues of 5 per location. Let's see. How is submitting through this different than going directly to the Hartford? If you have access to the Hartford and you have a contract with them and they are offering this product through your agency, we highly recommend, in fact, we will not quote it if you have that. I think there were 6 agents in 6 states that have access to this. We're the only one that has access to it nationwide except New York, California, Texas, Louisiana, Indiana, and Florida. So if you have access to them, definitely we will not quote it if that's kind of an adverse risk selection scenario for us and the carrier. Can we write the coverages monoline? And yet, you bet, we can write property, GL, comp, auto, umbrella, all those coverages monoline. Here's a question. Is $15 paid to the shop for ESP regardless of if we get an order or not? And Scott, you want to?
Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, I think because this is an actual property and casualty coverage, we can't pay a commission to a non-licensed person. So if we have somebody at a shop that's not licensed, we can pay for referrals or for quotes, and that would have to be regardless of whether they close or not. So we would convert that into sales either through our call center or through your agency, and then be able to pay the commission on the closed sales. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it definitely does. I think we almost can't say that too many times. This is a licensed insurance product, and you have to be a licensed agent to get paid a commission. So a commission is a percentage of the premium. If we get an account in through an unlicensed shop, now I guess they could go get their license, but if on an unlicensed shop, we pay per quote, and it's not just the quotes we get an order on; it's all the quotes. On the, I guess this kind of the same question. Let's see here. Is ESP available in Florida? And can ESP be written even if the BOP or comp is not written? And yes, we can. We would rather write the full account, but in Florida, for example, we don't have the BOP or the comp filed and approved yet. So we will definitely write ESP even if the shop doesn't go with us on the property casualty side. Can we do a auto dealer? We do not write any risk with, well, any car dealership, I guess is what I should say. However, if it's an auto repair shop and it has 2 dealer plates or less, or they sell less than 5 cars, then we can write it. One last question, it looks like, and then we'll finish up. What kind of credits are available since it's a pilot program? We have up to 25% premium credit available in-house, and we can go beyond that in some cases when we submit it to the Hartford. Sometimes we need it. In some states, since it is a pilot program, we need premium credits. In some places, we are extremely competitive. But we will give premium credits for, hiring practices, building alarms, security cameras, and, those types of things that makes the risk desirable by the carrier. So to finish up, just want to thank Dylan and Scott for taking their time. I want to thank all you for attending the Hartford Auto Services webinar, and we really look forward to doing business with you. Please give us a call if you have any questions.
Thank you again for having us out.
Thanks, Dwight. Really appreciate it.
Right. Thanks, Scott.